Fresh bringing it to you on a Wednesday. As promised, we will start our 3 because I was looking at my playlist for SAT, ACT to take a look at what I did with the SAT. And with the SAT, I did 3 videos and I saw the pattern of the 3 videos. The 3 videos were what is it and how to prepare for it and what to do on the actual test day. So I'm going to follow the same pattern. I'm going to do what is it, how to prepare on the second video, and the third one on what to do on the actual test day. So let's go into the ACT. First of all, I'd like to show you different things that I learned. You notice I've always been showing you my Canva slides like this, and I did not realize that there is a little view button right here that would actually put it into the full screen of the laptop. And the reason I wanted to show that to you is because I wanted to show you that I'm always learning things. I'm never satisfied with what I have, and so sometimes I'm tinkering around with it and playing, and I go, look. So, what is the ACT Part 1 in the now big screen that I have here? As we start the discussion of the ACT is an entrance exam used by colleges, universities, things like that, to make admissions decisions. And before I continue with this is becoming less and less of a thing because now more and more schools are test optional. In other words, that do not require SATs or ACTs, but rather just your transcripts, your grades, and perhaps an essay telling them a little bit more about who you are. And so, with that said, this test is a multiple choice paper and pencil type of test administered by this company itself called the ACT. I told you the SAT, if you look at my social media, I think a couple of months back, the SAT, I believe in 2024, if my brain serves me right, is going to be completely digital. And so that's something you should look into. Also for the ACT, keep your eyes open for new updates. And the purpose of the ACT is to measure a high school student's readiness for higher learning. Even though I don't necessarily agree with it, and I told you I'm not a fan of the SAT or the ACT, it's good not only for high school student readiness for higher learning, but it's also good for scholarships, because sometimes scholarship applications will ask you for an SAT or ACT score. So it is worth it, even if you're thinking about test optional schools. All right, continuing onward, when should I take the ACT? And as I was doing a little research, because that's what I do with these things, it says students should take the ACT during the spring of their junior year and the fall of their senior year. I definitely agree with that because of what I put on the next thing there. Because this way you have time to retest if you're not happy with your scores. Now, little caveat here on when you should take this ACT. Many people will say, you should take it freshman year, high school, sophomore year, high school. I think you really should wait till the spring of junior year, because by that point you will have maximized your knowledge base for high school. But if you do it earlier, you're still learning and what have you. So I definitely agree with that, even though parents will disagree with me and other people will definitely disagree with me. And why should you retake the test? Because it says the spring and fall of their senior year. You should retake the test because the higher your score is, that is the score they're going to take. So if you really bomb it first and second and third time, but if you do really well in the fourth time, then, which I'll tell you about what that means in terms of scoring later, that's the score that the colleges will look at. Seriously. I know say, but what if they see the 0? I'm not kidding. They will always look at the higher score. And last but not least on this is to know the test dates. And notice this school year, because I'm filming this on March 9th, 2022, test dates because scholastically we're looking at 2021, 2022. And these are the dates for this school year. But I want to show you another little detail, because you should look at what is not just the test date, but as we go to the Princeton Review website. And as you know, I am a big fan of the Princeton Review because they only hire certified teachers. In other words, from the state. So I know, like Florida, where I live, you have to be certified to teach and then they will take the teacher aside and train them how to teach for the SAT and ACT for a month's time. And so that's why I think Princeton Review, if you're going to spend money, is definitely the way to go. There are others, because I'm going to shout out Kaplan in a good way later on in the video. So I mean, there are possibilities and varieties, but my humble opinion, Princeton Review is the best. And why I wanted to show this to you in terms of the SAT dates is because it's really important to notice the year, because as I was fumbling through this yesterday, I noticed here it gave you 2020, 2021, and we are not in 2020, 2021. So I think it's really, really important, because I know soon, I know, like I said, it's March 9th, 2022. The 2022, 2023 will be coming out soon, and then you'll get confused. So make sure of the dates. I can't emphasize that enough. And again, like I said, the test date is important, when the actual test date is, and it's usually on a Saturday. But like I said, if you are a Seventh-day Adventist or Jewish and you cannot take tests on a Saturday, there are accommodations for you to take it on a Sunday because of religious observances. But not only do I want you to notice a test date, I want you to notice registration date. I'm going to show you this one because it's right in front of me. I know it happened already, but September 11, 2021, you notice the registration date of August 6th. Now, why do you need to know that? Because if you don't register, as an example, by August 6th of 2021 for that September 11, 2021 date, you will be no, it's not here, but you will be paying for a late fee. And you don't want to be paying for that late fee, which I'll show you in a little while, that exact point. And also, I know kids always ask, well, where this guy is going? I don't know. Well, here, as my dog goes like, what was that loud sound? The test date release is usually here, and it usually will be on your site that your login, which I'm going to show you in a little bit. So really pay attention to the test date, when to register so you don't pay more, and when the scores are released. So as I was saying, now that I'm excited about my new full screen mode, what does the ACT cost? I was just mentioning 2 seconds ago concerning that you don't want to pay late fees. So what do I mean? What does the ACT cost? Is there's a writing and a no writing, as the same thing with the SAT. There are many similarities in both tests. And I personally don't care for the writing, because my problem with the writing, this is my humble, uneducated opinion, is that you've taken a test. You'll see the length of the test is about 3 hours. Same thing with the SAT. And then you take the writing. You're honest. I don't care how smart or how not smart you are. You're going to be tired. And so doing that writing sample you're not going to be doing your best. So I personally would take it with no writing. But again, consult with your colleges that you are applying to if they require it or not. Now that I showed you the Princeton Review website, let's check out the ACT website itself. Again, if you're taking notes, which you should, that is the website act.org. That is the home page here. And so let's check out the costs. Oh, and how we're going to check that out. You see the little magnifying glass here? That's your little search bar. What you're going to do is type in the word fees, F-E-E-S. Let me show you. And I want to show you the word because I know a lot of my subscribers are not from the United States and may not be so familiar with the American words. And so fees refers to money. And if you put on the ACT, I showed that little magnifying glass, you're going to click on this very, very first link. So as I clicked on the first link, you'll see there what it costs, you know, the price tag. And it has gone up considerably. I mean, the last, I guess, 2 years, it's gone up by about, almost 13 bucks. Or was no, not true. About $8. It was $55. Now it's 63. But I wanted to show you my point about the late fees. So if you wait, right, and you register later than what that date is, that registration date, you notice you're going to be paying an extra $36. And to be honest with you, that's foolish, because that's poor planning on your part. You really need to be aware of not only the test day, but the registration date, so you're not paying that late fee unnecessarily. Last but not least, I apologize. I forgot to show you this thing with fee waivers. Fee waivers, if you qualify, in other words, if you are a Title I school, and you get some funding by the government that because your neighborhood may not be as wealthy as others, and you're qualified for reduced or free lunch, then definitely consult with your guidance counselor or CAP advisor, and they should be able to provide you with a fee waiver. Now that we know what it is, now that we know the registration dates and test dates themselves, and now that we're aware of how much it costs, and now that we're getting a general feel for the ACT, what is on the ACT? Well, we have here 4 sections, and let's hope with the big old eyes there. Again, Canva, I give credit to Canva. English, reading, math, and science. That's very different in the respect that English, reading, and math are on the SAT, but the ACT emphasizes science, and that is nowhere to be found on the SAT, so that's a difference. And also the has an optional 40-minute writing test, as I showed you with the price tag. It is different. Again, why I put the little I there and the check mark there is you really need to check your school, your individual schools that you're applying to, because because I say that I wouldn't take the writing portion of the ACT, which is true, you have to see if your school that you're applying to requires it, and they will tell you as such. And if you can't find it, ask your admission officer of your state if you do need to take that as part of the admissions process. I was pretty sure that I put this slide here, but like I said, I did this yesterday and I was fumbling through it because I want to make sure that I try to be as concise as possible. It is 2 hours and 55 minutes, and like I said, that essay is usually done afterwards. And you see it says 3 hours and 35 minutes. In a perfect world, that's an additional 40 minutes, and that's it in a perfect world, because between instructions and collecting materials and all that, I mean, honest, like I said, I don't care how intelligent or not intelligent, as it were, you are, you're going to be tired. And so if you can avoid it. And like I said, I put the little time things there because you see this cartoon girl here. She's concerned about the time. Try not to necessarily don't have a watch or whatever on you. Your proctor will keep the time and keep you aware of the time. Just keep working. And as I mentioned earlier, I was going to tell you how it's scored, because I know that's one of the questions kids ask. Well, what do I need to pass? There is no passing in the SAT or the ACT. It's just a score, and depending on what your schools are looking for, that's what it is. It's not necessarily pass or fail. And in respect to that, you shouldn't be thinking pass fail. You should be thinking how well I can do. And that's a better positive attitude to have. Each section, I told you, the reading, the math, the English, and the science, they're scored from 1 to 36. If you recall, the SAT, it's from 0 to 800 each section, and so it's different. So so if you get like a 25, then oh my God, I completely blew it. No, you have to realize the difference in scoring, and your composite, and that's a big fancy word, you need to get used to it. Composite score, and the same thing for the SAT. Composite means your overall score, or the average of the 4 sections between 1 and 36. And truly, that is what they're going to be asking for, your composite. So unless they say, hey, what did you get on your reading, or what did you get on your math? They're going to be looking for composite scores. And if you participate in the writing test, you will receive a separate score for that test. Now, truth be told, this is my last slide, and honestly, this is where I had an awful lot of trouble with it, because how do I register for the ACT? So what is the key for this whole thing? Is we're going to revisit the website, the ACT website for a second, and then the Kaplan site. First the ACT site, then the Kaplan site, and I'll show you how I struggle with this, because I wanted to really show you how to actually register for the ACT, but I'll show you what my little snafu. And the key is to follow the links on what you're looking to do. So just kind of keep following along. It's kind of following the yellow brick road here, and kind of following until you get to the point. And really do follow the links. And also, to be honest, how I do these videos is when I want to find, kind of go through, because I don't want to spend a lot of time in fumbling through the information. I kind of star them. I star them on my little laptop here, and you may want to do the same. So this way, if you know you're going to be looking at the ACT, I'll star it so it's easier for you to get to, so you're not fumbling around in the computer. So how do I register looking at this? And this is our home page. Right here it says register for the ACT. So I thought this was kind of cool. Let's click on it, and I can actually walk you through it. But when you click on it, this is where it takes you to. And so that's why I had to look around to do some more research on how to show you at least basic things that you might need to register. First thing you need to do, if you don't have an account, and you should do the same thing with the SAT, again, collegeboard.org. You'll notice here that you would create an account. What they're going to ask you for, obviously, is an email. Please make sure that your email is appropriate. If you don't know what I mean, ask your guidance counselor. Everything should be very professional. Should be nothing silly or profane. Make sure it's clean. And if it's not clean, create one. They're free. Yahoo, Hotmail. There's tons of them. So, and you're also going to create a password. Make sure if you want to write 8 million different kinds of passwords, write them down, put it on your phone. Don't have poor choice of words. Put it on your phone and put, hey, ACT, this is my password. So you're not going, oh my God, I forgot. And so that's what I would do. And that is the first step to signing up for the ACT. And to show you that I actually did save these things, there are my 3 sites that I saved in order to do this video. Again, I am giving credit to the big old K there, which is Kaplan. Kaplan's the one who provides this information. So I wanted to share this information, because how to register for the ACT, follow well, first of all, the website, which I just showed you, which is creating your account, where you're creating an account with them. But then what the things that you're going to need to supply as you register is you're going to provide a headshot. Literally a photo of yourself, and follow the specific guidelines, because it has to fall within your certain parameters of a box or what have you. You may say, well, why do they need to see my picture? The reason they need to see your picture, I'm not trying to be funny. Let's say there are 4 Juan Rodriguez's who are going to take the ACT on a particular day. You need to know which Juan Rodriguez we're talking about. So that's the reasoning for the headshots. Your high school code. Each school has a specific high school code. Every school has a code that is 6 numbers long. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, please make sure that you either A, talk to your guidance counselor or CAP advisor, or if all else fails, you could call ACT themselves, give them the name of your school and the city and the state and the zip code, and they will definitely be able to give you your high school code. And this is important too, your testing center is not necessarily your high school code. For example, my school, where I go on Mondays, they are not a testing center. So their high school code would be something, and then their testing center would be a totally different number. So that's why that's really important. If you want to give parents email, that's fine, but you don't need to. Remember, if you need to find out whether you're going to take the writing portion or not, and find out if your college requires it. And during the registration process, if you do need accommodations, if you are learning disabled, which is nothing wrong with that, you may need to request those accommodations, and you may need more time. You may need larger print, things of that nature. So, and you also may want to opt into the ACT educational opportunities. I would, because it connects you not only with the colleges, but it also connects you with financial opportunities. In other words, AKA free money. And I always try to stay within what I preach. I always say I like to make my videos 5 minutes, or at least 5 minutes, or at maximum 20 minutes. And I know I'm getting right there on the 20-minute mark. So I wanted to thank you for the first part of the ACT. I hope you learned what it is, how to navigate your starting point, and to start getting those proverbial ducks in a row. Now that you know what the ACT is, you know how to register, you know how much it is, you know how long it is, and you know all the little details for that test, go ahead and register. And next time, we're going to talk about how to prepare for your ACT. This is Louis D. Fresh.